Hello and welcome to the World Wide Web. You're watching Epic Guff, a web series which, like a prostate exam, fingers the anus of Epic TV to identify any obstacles that may be causing discomfort. This week, after a meeting with Epic TV bosses, I've been instructed to tell you to subscribe to this here web series. Taking inspiration from North Korean propaganda, we'll be dropping in the odd subliminal message to get your stupid little sausage fingers to click subscribe. But don't worry, you won't even notice. As per usual, we'll be doing 5 facts, this time about snowboarding. We'll also be looking at human dangleberry and Epic TV smash hit James Kingston, and we'll be discovering how easy it is to obliterate a centuries-old art form in one single shitty little action sports video in storm cycles. But first, the birds are singing, the flowers are blooming, and alas, the snow is melting. It can mean only one thing. Season-air snowboarders across Europe are heading home in puke-filled coaches, while snowboarders across the Northern Hemisphere are migrating south in some sort of mass move of the malnourished and terribly dressed. Thing is though, what the fuck is snowboarding anyway? And why do so many people care about it? Here are 5 facts to tell you what it is. Go on. Fuck off. Fuck off over there. Go on. Much like the inception of football, where villagers would kick around a pig's bladder because there was nothing else to do but catch the plague, snowboarding too had a less than illustrious history, with the pioneers of the sport giving skis a wide berth in favour of tea trays and a shit kids toy called a snurfer. It wasn't until the 70s and 80s when a bunch of blokes who I can't be bothered to name began developing boards which resemble the ones we see today, like this one strapped to this tosser's feet. Snowboarding has more styles than anyone in the community could possibly give a shit about, including freestyle, big air, pipe, rail jam and jibbing. I'll freestyle up your big air pipe leaving a rail covered in jam. Lads! You don't need to be able to snowboard to be a snowboarder, you simply sport stupid clothes like this and drop these words into everyday conversation. Do that and everyone will think you're a cunt. I mean snowboarder. Cunt. Snowboarders hate skiers. Fact. 23% of snowboarders are women, which means that 77% are men. As a result, snowboarders have a tendency to be testosterone-fueled piss weasels, giving birth to people such as arrogant fuckbucket and sweary boy band member lookalike Kevin Bäckström. Bäckström was banned from the Winter Olympics for slagging off 2 journalists who criticised him for his Instagram feed, among other things. It's alright though, because Kevin took the high road and demonstrated that he isn't a sexist pig by saying one of the female journalists looks like a fucking racehorse. In another interview, Kevin wanted to highlight his love of women, saying, "I love them more than anything," which he must do because he says things like, "I love watching delicious women shaking their asses." Thing is though, Kevin, and allow me to explain this in a manner that you may understand, you see, women are like that crack you smoke. You might love it, but if you don't respect it, one day it's going to kill you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a clump of faeces dangling into the abyss from nothing other than a scraggly bum hair? Well, swap bum hair for a crane and ask human mentalist and gibbon James Kingston, and he'll probably give you some kind of idea. Aside from putting his mother's long-term health at risk from high blood pressure, in his new series On the Edge, James loves nothing more than to put his own life in danger by climbing up really high things and then hanging off them when he gets to the top. Episode 1 follows James as he scrambles to the peak of Moscow Bridge in Ukraine with partner in hanging Mustang Wanted. After dangling Mustang from the edge in a move egging on death more than smoking while filling up your car, James then performs a backflip to the delight of the drivers not paying attention to the road below. The antics of James has stirred up some controversy on Epic TV's comment board, with all you lot not really sure as to whether what he is doing is amazing or stupid. Personally, I don't know what all the fuss is about. I mean, people have been doing this for centuries. Take a look at this bloke. I think the real question we should be asking is why James insists on performing a cupping testicle gesture at the top of each structure. I asked him, and this is what he said. Cheers, James. Cupping my testicles at top of a crane, top of a crane, top of a crane. Cupping my testicles, the top of a crane. That's boobs, actually, isn't it, that one? That's boobs. Testicles. Cupping the testicles, the top of a crane. Top of a crane. Top of a crane. Or bridge. Cupping my testicles, the top of a... You know poetry, yeah, that beautiful art form that with the use of words can conjure up a million emotions and delve to the depths of your soul. Yeah, well, what do you think it would take to smash that to pieces in 6 minutes and 17 seconds?
The brutal cold of the Midwestern morning shivers against the train as its passengers sleep soundly, chest rising and falling with the familiar rhythm of the rails. The tracks expanding and contracting.
Do you know what? I can't fucking do this. It's too awful. It is too awful. Dreadful. And with that, if you wouldn't mind,